Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, our viewers. Welcome to another episode of the Gigi Report. I'm your host, Godfrey Gichuki, once again inviting you to join us for a very exciting conversation here. Today, I am going to be engaging some young people here on the show today. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be different. We are revisiting the subject of our last week discussion, the state of the nation, and this time round we have the Gen Z perspective of the take of the Gen Z, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this conversation. All right, so get ready. We are live on the social media platforms, Elevate TV Kenya, Facebook page, YouTube channel. Please log in there, share, invite your friends, and let's have this amazing conversation. As you very well know, if you're a political observer, you know that our politics change by the day. 24 hours is a very, very long time in Kenya. Things can change. And so it's very difficult to catch up, to know what is right, what is established. You know, things are so fluid. You don't know what to believe and who you are following. Sometimes you may find the person you've been following as your political leader has shifted camp and now is on the other side, and you're wondering what happened. So it's very, very interesting when you observe our political scenario in this country. But and then, of course, on the other hand, there are people who really feel tired of talking about politics. I never get tired because I know that matters politics affect us every day, and look, we cannot exit the conversation, otherwise we'll leave it to other people then who have a field day, and no, we have to actually put in our stake there and say things as they are. All right, so let's go straight. I want to introduce my guests that are here with me. I have with me Mathew Omondi on my extreme left. Mathew, welcome to the show. Look at that camera. Welcome our viewers, and yeah, to come and join us.
Okay, welcome to the Elevate TV Gigi Report show. We are live and we are grateful for the invite. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's good. Thank you very much, Mathew, for joining us. Mathew is a technical sales person. He's actually an engineer, mechanical engineer, and he works for one of the corporations, and he's a very fine gentleman. He's also a youth leader at Life Church International. He's very much engaged in matters both church and also in the marketplace, and he has an amazing perspective on how things are. Of course, as you know very well, these young people, whatever happens in the national scene affects them directly, so that's why they are interested parties. With me on my immediate left is Purity Ngungu. Purity actually, interestingly, contested for the member of County Assembly, that is the MCA, Nairobi South, of all the places. This young woman, she's an amazing lady, and she doesn't just talk about politics. She has had her feet right into the heart of the political conversation in this city. So, Purity, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Look at that camera, and please invite our friends and welcome them to the show.
Welcome our viewers to this show. Yes, I'm Purity, as you heard. Thank
wonderful,
you.
wonderful.
Yes.
I know you are brief, but I'm going to get you talking right now.
Okay. We can prepare.
Yeah, so yes, I have these young people here, and I'm going to infect them with the virus of engaging on matters, politics, and get them talking. All right. Okay. So the issue is, like I said, the state of the nation, the perspective of the Gen Z, or the take by the Gen Z. And so I want us to dive right into that conversation. But before we get into the heart of it, I think it's good for you to tell us about yourself. What are you doing currently? How did you get to where you are right now? We start with you, Mathew. I said you're an engineer. Maybe you can give us a little bit of quick background about yourself and what are you up to?
Okay, Mathew Omondi is a mechanical engineer by training, or by profession, if I may say, working in one of the organizational corporation, and I work as a technical sales engineer. I have worked for a span of 3 years so far, and I'm glad that I'm still making the steps. Yeah, so currently I'm still in one of the organization working as a technical sales engineer. In college, I did mechanical engineering, majoring in construction plant mechanic, which basically deals with the construction equipment,
okay.
the excavators, the wheel loaders, and so forth.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mathew. And you're at the beginning of your career. I love your energy, your commitment, your passion, and I really want to wish you all the best as you build your career. But you're also very, very vocal politically. We'll come back to you just now in a minute. Purity, what are you doing with yourself now that you tested politics? Give us a little bit of where you are right now.
Okay, currently I'm in the marketplace, just doing business. Yes, I'm a journalist by profession. South B here at Kenya Institute of Mass Communication, that's where I was. I think that's why I chose that area, by the way, because it's like, that's my home. I market almost everything, but I don't sell the bad things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's me.
Okay.
I don't want to give all the details.
Yes.
Just know I'm a marketer. I don't sell anything bad. I'm a marketer. That's all. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll spare you the rest of the details.
Thank you.
We'll keep your your background as discreet as possible.
Thank you.
We will meet at the ballot. All right.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
When you start on that platform, then that's when we'll talk about it. Okay. So let's go straight into this particular issue, and I want to ask you guys one of the big questions, based on your observation on in terms of the state of the nation. What is the greatest challenge facing Kenya? So I know that's a big question, but I'm sure you have a few things that bother you, that are bothering you right now. You think this thing is going wrong. This is a challenge. From where you sit, this is where I think the biggest pain is. So let's start with you, Mathew.
Basically, the biggest challenge, as for my observation, is politics without ethics.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, as far as now, you can see that what we say in the daylight is completely opposite with what we do overnight.
Right.
So, as a young man, you wake up early in the morning with a lot of uncertainties. Like the current political situation is the most unpredictable political situation ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah, so unpredictability.
Politics without ethics, unpredictability.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
If also I may say, there is also a very big divide between I don't want to say religion and the politics, but I'm seeing there is the church has been set aside, kind of silenced.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, as you as a man of God, you really know that there is a very big difference between the church and religion. So you realize that most of politics that we have is politicians merged in religion, not the church.
Okay.
Not our ethics as believers.
Okay.
So what the outcome is really terrible.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Very, very brief, very precise. All right. Politics without ethics, unpredictability of our political system, and then the kind of the is it the divide?
The divide.
Yeah, the divide. politicians in league with some religious class, and not exactly with the church, the Church of Jesus Christ as such. Okay, very good. Purity.
Yes.
What is the biggest challenge facing the state? The
I
Republic?
think the challenges we are facing currently, one, it is that the nation is expecting a lot from the government. We are a bit unable to be patient.
Yes.
I think it would be better if the nation could be a bit patient, because a lot is happening, and we are expecting also a lot.
Okay.
High expectations from the government, from the president, from the coalition that was formed recently. So I think what we can do, those are the challenges we are facing. We are not patient. I don't know if you are getting me.
Yes.
I'm talking of like patience in terms of, you see now, we are mid. The term is at the mid. Almost 2.5 years
Right.
since elections. So maybe this is the time the government to need to sit and reflect and see whom do we need to go forward with, whom do we need to maybe abandon, what do we need to do. These are the challenges we are facing as a nation, because we had very high expectations from the president. He has portrayed himself as somebody who is perfect, someone who knows it all. So maybe the country is not patient. That's what I think from where I sit.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. High expectation,
Yeah.
and of course lack of patience.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I want you to relax, because really this is not exam kind of thing. So you're free to say anything, even if you know, even if it's controversial. So allow yourself to be controversial. Allow yourself to say you know, whatever you actually think, and you're free. What happens, you know, Mathew, is that there is a sense in which we self-censor, right? So but I think we need to speak out our mind.
Sure.
We need to speak out our mind. Okay, so I think those are very key. I like what you've opened. I like the idea of politics without ethics, and maybe we can unpack that a little bit. Okay, Matthew's point: politics without ethics. What could be different? How would politics be played in this country different from how it's being played right now? Do you think? Okay, so let's actually face the fact. So somebody wants to get elected in this country. They will create a platform, they join a political party, they start their campaign, and as usual, you know, they will make all kinds of promises. You know, they will say, we'll fix all the primary schools, we'll fix all the high schools, we'll get every young person who is unemployed a job. I am for the Mwananchi. I'll make sure you will never go hungry, you know, in this village. Every young man will be employed, etc., etc. So what are the issues? How would it be different if we played politics of the ethics? Because you've said we're playing politics without ethics. So I want you to unpack that.
Well, one of the key things that I would really like to see in our political scene is when we will be at a position whereby we need nobody's money to elect them. At the same time, we need nobody's kind of persuasive idea for going the long-term personality that we have known concerning a particular person.
All right.
So this ethic, as for me, it begins with the voter.
Okay.
Yeah, the voter as an individual. Let me say, I've known Purity. She has tried to be a politician, or well, she's still a politician, and I have known her political background, not only political background, or even his or her ways of doing business as an individual. And I should be at a position to know that this guy, at this particular time, he was convicted of this and that happened, and we can't just wake overnight and say that, you know, we are choosing a lesser evil.
Okay.
Or a little bit less unfortunate kind of a politician. So you realize that most of our politicians, they come with the hiding personality of saying, you know, I came from this kind of background, and we become emotional. basically, I really think that Kenyan ethics has been affected by emotionality of the voters.
Okay.
Yeah. Most voters, they go with their tears. They go with this is our own. Even saying this is our own is a kind of emotional thing. I'm going to fix things so that my brother, when my brother is there, I can also feel the warmth. But it has come that the opposite is the truth that's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you are a very good Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, Mathew, I totally agree.
Yeah.
The Kenyan politician can be a very, very difficult character to predict.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, you better respond to that, because
No, it's okay. I think what he said is actually the truth. The problem is with the voter, then it goes up all the way to the politicians. Because if you go down to the voter and ask them to vote for you just without giving them anything, then they will be like, but Mathew was here, he gave us 50 bob. You are giving us nothing, so we better take the 50 bob and have him in power rather than having you who has given us nothing. You see, now that's already a way of teaching them how you want to be ruled. You are teaching the leaders, this is the kind of leader I want. Because you have to give me some money, then I give you the vote. So I don't know why anyone should be worried when they go and they are stealing everything from everywhere, because we have taught them that behavior. And then they have stolen to give us. So when they get the power, they need to return whatever was given back to the voter. We better change. That's what I think. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love that. I love that. So basically, you're saying that the beginning of the corruption of ethics, the political ethics,
yes.
Begins with the voter.
Yes.
I know I'll be returning to the issue of corruption, because that for me is a very, very big issue. So Mathew,
Yeah.
do you think that the Kenyan voter is guilty of having been paid to elect the leaders who then later on they turn around and say that's a bad guy?
Basically, I will say, like the Bible says, you reap what you sow.
Okay.
So if I sowed a corrupt seed, basically I will reap that.
Yes.
So, and again, you know, these politicians, they have not come from heaven. They are the product of the society.
Right.
These people, we lived with them. We know them. 2022, my cousin was running for an MCA seat. And he's somebody whom we know. So, it's upon me as somebody who has grown with these guys to tell, I know it will be like sabotage, to tell the good side and also tell the negative implication of this guy. So that by the time things happen, our home or the entire clan will not be burnt because of one guy who perhaps is going because of his own or our own desires.
Right.
Yeah. Again, you see, the model of politics in Kenya, since my childhood, I have noticed it's a system whereby we go with the non-political party. And you know, if the political party is trying to clinch a higher seat, they need money.
Right.
So they will resolve to somebody who has got money, who can really facilitate a campaign for 1 week for them.
Right.
So it's very easy to buy the soul of an entire community by just introducing somebody who have it.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to give an example.
Go ahead.
You
Don't
know,
be afraid.
I come from Suna West.
Okay.
We are bordering Suna East.
All right.
And recently there was a data which was given comparing how the two constituencies are progressing.
Yes.
You see, basically you will see the difference. Suna West is a rich constituency as well. Suna East is a rich constituency just as Kiaru. There the land is fertile. They have got, terrain is good. You can't say that there should not be good roads, there should not be good facilities and schools. But you will be surprised that the expenditure in comparison with each of them, you realize that there is a very big, huge divide. And you question yourself, are these people getting the same money or somebody is taking from another person to fill the gaps? So it's just an idea of greed and the sense that you have to go as per the higher political party. The higher political party is in the business of finding money to finance their campaign. So the good and faithful servant whom we really recognize in the Bible will be automatically be absent.
Okay.
So that's what we are really facing as a nation.
Wow. I love that. I think those are very accurate depiction of our Kenyan politics. You know, Gen Zs, and you fall in that category, both of you. You know, there has been this thinking that, you know, Gen Zs are just were carried away by emotions, but apparently, well, maybe that's my own opinion. But I think I love the fact that you guys are really turned on. You're really very clear and observant of what is going on. So he's talked about the big parties, right?
Yeah.
So the big parties having to go with the guys who can actually produce the money.
Yes.
So given that you actually yourself personally participated in an elective contesting for an elective position, so how many millions did you spend, and you know, how did you maneuver around the issue of money? So please make a confession here. You know, just tell us you spent
And the
5 million.
Okay, I'll tell you the truth.
Yes.
Yes, because I'm also a believer.
Yes.
I'm born again.
Yes.
So the issue of political parties, it is the reality, the way he's putting it.
Yes.
But as for me, I think the Lord was on my side for sure, because I did not pay even a single coin. This is the reality.
Yes.
Yes, I was with Usawa kwa wote, and I think it's a matter of God first, and then the connection, the people I have around me. I have these kind of friends. I was not even prepared to buy, but 3 months to the election, a friend of mine called me and he told me, just come to the office, let me give you the free ticket.
Right.
I can only say that is the hand of God. Get the free ticket, go down, go buy, just to test the waters and see if you can convince one person. But you see this thing, I was like, oh yes, I think it's a wake up call. Like this is the area you need to venture in. It is something that has been in my heart. It used to be in my heart even long time ago. So I did not pay any coin. But surely it's not easy to get a ticket. It is not easy. I've seen people struggle. I've seen people pay money and still lose it.
Okay.
Yes, some they pay it, they lose it. So for you to get it for free like me, it was the hand of God. And even the next elections, I'm like already something with a major one. It is for the glory of God.
Wow,
Yes.
wow. I'm all smiles here. I'm all smiles. I'm listening to
Yes.
I'm listening to my guest here, Purity, absolutely amazing woman. Amazing woman here. She actually got a ticket from Usawa kwa wote,
Usawa kwa wote.
Usawa kwa wote, a political party gave her a free nomination, and she was on the ballot, and I'm telling you, the rest is history. And I just want to acknowledge, as we go on with this conversation, I have Samuel Dahi here following us very closely. Samuel, karibu sana. Gen Z speaking boldly, that's what he is commenting. Collins is saying the lady is right. There's too much expectation. Let us support and be patient with the government. I can also see that Beatrice Chuchu is watching that. Thank you very much, and karibu sana. Devi Kingola is saying, I appreciate this discussion. Politics without ethics is a dangerous path, and it's evident that the church has been sidelined. We need more leadership, moral leadership that upholds integrity and godly principles for true national transformation. We truly appreciate that, Davey, and thank you very much for following this conversation, and others that are out there. I'm talking to the Gen Z, and you know, we're being as practical as possible here. We're making, we are hearing very solid ideas here. Mathew here telling us about the fact that politics without ethics is our biggest problem. Of course, the unpredictability of our politics. And then Purity tells us that high expectations, and the fact that we need some bit of patience. All right, so before we go to the break, let's talk about. I want to introduce this other issue, which I think is very, very, very serious. The war on corruption, and then the other. Okay, so maybe before we get to corruption, because in the next part of this show we're going to talk heavily about corruption, and I'm going to be asking you guys to tell us where it's coming from. But before we get there, let me ask this very nagging question. Gen Zs. Last year, you were the center of the political revolution, which somehow, unfortunately, didn't succeed, as it was, as I think the aim of the organizers. They had said obviously that they want a complete change, transformation. There has been change, so I don't know what. Looking back, the last 1 year. What do you think this whole movement was about, and where do you see it going? The Gen Z revolution. Mathew, let's hear from you. Even though we might go for a break, but let's first of all start from you.
Okay, as we all know that for every revolution to rise or to begin, there is always a burning issue which is unattended to.
Okay.
We basically know that for there to be some rupture in the body, there is a concentration and something is rotten from it.
Right.
Yeah, so what really happened and our expectation as per se, I would say that you can never tell us or tell even your family that we have given you actually went to them and asked them, make me your king, I will serve you, I will solve the problem within a span of 5 years. Then we give you 1 year, the second year. Into the halves of it, there is no even a quarter of it done. Progress is something that you cannot do, you cannot corrupt it, or there is no way you can hide it.
Yes.
Progress is like something that I don't want to say. It's like being pregnant.
Yeah.
It grows.
Yes.
It is visible. But if it is absent, it simply means that there is something that is not happening. There is something which is wrong. So you can't just come now and tell us as a family that give me time, and time is the only investment that you don't know the balance.
Okay.
We basically don't know the balance. If somebody has run for the last 2 years doing nothing, let me say like me doing nothing, then maybe I have a wife
yes.
in future, not providing, and I am working, I am getting salary, I'm getting the allowances and privileges. There will be a lot of questions. There will be good questions concerning it, and they will ask me, Daddy, you wake up very early in the morning, you take the car, you fuel the car, you get the salary, but we don't have a home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you there. I'm going to hold you there. You're an amazing guy. So let's take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to go back to Mathew. He's raised a very big issue. Progress, a pregnancy which is not growing. We have not seen the baby coming, and we had very high expectation that this marriage is going to produce results. Let's hold it there. We take a break. We'll come back to this conversation. Don't go away. Keep it elevate.
Kenya, are you ready? Azusa is coming to you. Yes. Interdenominational conference titled The Nairobi Outpouring. The venue, Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, at the Savo Ballroom, right in the city of Nairobi, Kenya. Attendance is free. Dates 28th to the 30th of March 2025.
Our host, Apostle Ansel Madabuko, all the way from Nigeria.
The guest speaker, Archbishop Harrison Nanga, Reverend Julian Kula, and Pastor T. Mwangi. Ministering in worship, Pastor Emmy Kosgei Madabuko, Dr. Sarah Kay, and the Hour Worship. Theme, the revelation of Jesus. With power-packed sessions from Friday to Saturday and the grand finale on Sunday at 2 p.m. Free registration is ongoing. Just click the link below.
You can also scan the QR code on the screen.
Or contact the details on the screen. This promises to be an impactful and transformational conference for the body of Christ.
Show me a people that will gather and they're not bothered about a new job or a new house or a new car or a new child or a new promotion, but they're bothered about God. And I will show you a generation that is not far from revival.
Azusa, the Nairobi outpouring, but we see Jesus.
All right, welcome back. This is the Gigi Report. I am having a very amazing conversation here with my two wonderful guests. These are the Gen Zs, the real Gen Zs. These are not imports. These are original Gen Zs, and they have an amazing perspective. I have with me Mathew Omondi, who is actually an engineer and technical sales. In sales, construction equipment. And with me also here is Purity Ngungu, who is also she's a politician. She contested for the MCA of Nairobi South. She has tasted politics, and she has her own perspective, and she's a business lady as well. So before we went to the break, Mathew, we were talking about I asked the question of what happened, the Gen Z revolution and the genesis of it, and you mentioned something that was very interesting, and I would like you to return to it. The idea that, look, the current government was elected on very, very solid expectation. Results were expected, and it's like a pregnancy which is not showing up, And so you guys listened in very keenly. Some of the younger Gen Zs, actually it was their first time to vote. So obviously they were voting on, you vote in a guy and the road outside my gate get tarmacked, That's what politicians do. So let's return to that. The disappointment, the lack of results. That's what you were talking about.
Well, thank you once more, Pastor Gigi, for that. You see, when I was giving that analogy, especially with the pregnancy, there are a lot of challenges. Maybe feeding is not okay or something else not okay. But for this case, what we know very well, that feeding is even above the proper way. Taxes have been increased. I really believe that there's nobody who is happy with their pay slip. And if they are, maybe I don't think it cannot be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have one, so I really know what it is. So from the pay slip, we are feeding a baby, which we can't see, and perhaps we may never see it. We will not see it.
Actually, by the way, to be specific, one of the elements which is on your pay slip is housing levy.
Yeah.
What else?
SHA.
There is housing levy and there is SHA, which was former NHIF.
Yeah.
And now it's a percentage of your income.
Yeah.
So depending on how your gross You see quite a big number there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, and that was not the case previously. I think if it is, for example, NHIF, you would be probably paying 1,200.
Yeah.
Perhaps you are paying even much more, maybe twice or so. And then, of course, the levy, the housing levy, wasn't actually a statutory deduction. So clearly, you are right. Your pay slip was robbed.
Yeah.
Was invaded. Absolutely. And no results.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so Purity, you need to jump into that. So what happened? Why the revolution? And he says, no, we have not seen the results. You wanted to be in that government.
Yes.
So tell us.
So, okay. Now, I think the government prioritized on the things that as Kenyans were not priority to us.
Okay.
Yes, because you see, when they started the government, the president was very key on having Kenya free nation from the loans. So he has been telling us that he is keen on paying all the loans and ensuring that we are not paying any loans, then we can stabilize it as a nation. And that's what is causing even currently the currency. I think the inflation, we are seeing that all is well, but there is no money in people's pockets.
Okay.
Why? Because they are not paying the local people. Let's say contractors and all those, they are not being paid. Then they are paying the other loans from outside the nation.
Right.
You see, such a thing, it's very hard to see, because if you are paying a loan, and us here we want to see medication in our hospitals, we want to see new roads done, we want to see them repaired, and the schools running well, then we may not see really. We may not see it. So I think with this, that's why Kenyan feel like, this is too much on our side.
Okay.
We want to see it practical. Like the other government, you could see the roads. We can tell at least there is SGR from where to where. But here we want to see it. How do you see a loan that was paid outside the nation? You cannot see it. We believe. So I think we should just give them the benefit of doubt, believing, yes, they have said they are paying their loan. So we believe they are paying their loan. The other day we had the president saying, we have cleared this one loan. Yeah.
No.
So we believe. Yeah, we believe by faith. So we hope, yes, he is paid. They are paid. All the loans will be paid soon. And then when they are done paying the loans, we will see the results here.
Okay.
Once they start working. Not that they are not working, but when they start like now prioritizing on the nation and this country and the people living here in our hospitals and wherever. Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, this is very interesting because you talk about, so they pay the loans, and they are local suppliers, but there is a very big what we call it. I'm forgetting the term, but money owed to local suppliers that is unpaid. You know,
Yes.
a lot of unpaid, unsettled,
Internal debt.
internal
Yeah.
debt actually, and something like 900 billion actually. So it's quite a huge amount of money that needs to be paid to local suppliers, contractors, and stuff like that. So that's a big problem. But this week, I think the Treasury announced they had paid some very big chunk of the Euro bond. Yes. So again, maybe we are making progress. We are not making progress. But let me ask one more question on the Gen Z. Is it that the Gen Z is a cohort that because that maybe you lack patience or something? Is it a question of a generation that is used to getting things? You put your card in the ATM machine, it gives you money. It doesn't kind of give you a story. Is it that problem, or is it that so you gave your vote, so you expect result? Please comment on that, because I just exonerate yourself, because the accusation is you guys are microwave generation, and you know, for you 24 hours is too much. You know, if you promise, you deliver.
I think the Genz is okay. Is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
my
go
turn?
on, go on. It's okay. You
Okay.
can jump in.
Yeah. Okay. I think the Genz just wanted to see results.
Okay.
They wanted to see results immediately. We saw the other time the president was just speaking, not reading anywhere. That's what we wanted to see. You have won, now want to see results today or even tomorrow morning. We don't want to wait forever. And many of them are jobless. Yes, they are very educated. So they are wondering, why are we not getting the jobs? He kept on telling us, we will get jobs. Once I get there, you will get employed. Hadi Mama Mboga, you know.
Yes.
So they want to see Mama Mboga there as the CS and whatever. Because tuliambiwa hivyo on the ground. But that is not what is happening. The president chose to do other things, which are good, but we need to see it. We may not really care much to know, is it paid, is it not paid? We want to see it done here. That's what provoked the Genz, according to me.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
On the issue of patience, of lack of it.
I think that one, I may not support the Genz or go against them.
Yeah.
But the idea is, you know, our fathers worked very hard and they made everything available at our disposal.
Right.
I can't dispute that. And that also brought some kind of quick fix mentality in us.
Mm-hmm.
And also again, I will refer back to our education system. The 844 system, however much it is good, but as a young person, I may not like it.
Mm-hmm.
In that we were ranked, and we went on and believed that my performance and my ability to get job is dependent on the position that I got in school.
Okay.
So most of us, we end up in the trap of, I am learned, I need a job, I need a well-paying job, and if there is a need that I need to start with the job which pays me 17,000 or 15,000 as an intern, I may turn it down because I am thinking I am qualified, without the mind that whichever company I'm going to join, there are other people who are qualified and experienced on the same line
Yes.
of trade.
Yes.
So I think it is both a challenge, both to the Genz and both to the generation that we went ahead of us.
Okay.
Yeah. In that line, I would also say that that does not mean that now we negate the fact that there is nothing being done. The result is something that we need. And let me talk to my counterpart here.
Yes.
When she's saying that the Genz, maybe perhaps they were they wanted the instant result, the coffee kind of result.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, that's not the case. They celebrated the first year, they celebrated the second year,
Mm-hmm.
as a sign that they were still having hope. And you know, hope is something that can easily be affected depending on how you are conveying it.
Okay.
Again, Pastor Gigi, if you can see the life that was exhibited by our politician then,
Mm-hmm.
especially last year,
Mm-hmm.
will easily make somebody to get high, even without reason. And the lifestyle that we were seeing was telling us that our money is being misused. The road that was supposed to pass by your gate is not proper because somebody somewhere, an MP
Yes.
of your area, is driving the 2024 V8 as compared to his or her salary doesn't match. He's not a business person.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think you really mentioned it. The idea that while we might actually think that Gen Z are microwave generation, they want things as fast as possible, I think you know, when you start driving 2024 V8 and wearing some gauzy shoes, and by the way, these days shoes have become a big problem. So yeah, so Gen Zs are very, you know, they will inspect you everywhere,
Yeah.
including the shoe. I tried to impress you guys
And
by,
the
you know,
watch.
having some shining. I hope I don't get what do you call it? What do you guys, the trick you play?
Kusalimiwa.
I don't get greeted because of my shoes. But clearly, there was a sense in which the political class, and I'll use that term, began to display with a lot of arrogance, their success. Following their acquiring those particular positions. So that became a problem. So I want us to return, and thank you very much for engaging very, very well indeed. Thank you, those of you that are following this conversation. I can see there is a lot of activity here on the YouTube channel as well. Let me just mention a few people. Karen Mwehaki following the conversation. Amunga, KUTQ, great show. Joseph Mwangangi, is just simple. We are dealing with a regime that came in with very good promises, but doing exactly the opposite. I think that's really, that's a very serious indictment. David here said, I appreciate this discussion. Politics without ethics is dangerous. It's a dangerous path. We need more moral leaders that uphold integrity and godly principles for true and national transformation. I think that was also posted on the Facebook. Faith Masia Athiambo here is tuned in. Perry Wamboi following. Dismas Alunga here saying, speak on the Roysambu at the Genz doing it right. Wanatufanya the ro. My goodness me. I told you, Genz are no joke. Their comments here are amazing. Vincent Okoth following. Nancy Kyoko says, tuned in, great show. The major problem we have with this government is diverting from the original plan. And I think that's what Purity here has alluded to. They keep creating new problems every day and expensive solution draining our taxes. Absolutely. Kevin Ogao Arege saying, following from Limuru, the revolution was great until most of our vocal youths were corrupted. Youth must arise. Wow. Somebody else here, KVMV, watching from Kitui County, and now I don't know what that means. Nancy Kyoko says, Pastor Gigi, Gen Z and millennials are not microwave generation. In the era of information and technology, our peer countries are advancing fast while we are dragging behind because of our poor governance, my friend. Nancy adds, the good foundation is to build is there. However, we see no bricks being laid. All we hear is new promises every day. I think this issue of promises and then prioritizing things which they are not exactly in line with what was promised originally. So we promised jobs. I mean, these guys promised jobs, not we, they promised jobs which they did not deliver. Absolutely. So I want us to move out to move on to something else. The big elephant in the house, corruption.
Yeah.
Which is actually linked to the what the Gen Zs have been complaining about. And my big question is, why is corruption a problem in Kenya? Why is it a problem? And because I don't know. I really want you guys to speak to that. What exactly is behind this force of corruption that seems to be eating into our republic? Let's start with you, Mathew.
If I may refer to one of the things that really transpired, even some people like people played genocide like Adolf Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that they had the idea of creating a system whereby we need to depend on them or rely on them,
right,
for us to get what we need. So you realize that what's really happening is there is some few fellas are really thinking that they can become great, take what belongs to the common person, draw them to themselves, then at their appointed time, at their own convenient time, they can call you, Purity, now come. Then you will come running, because what really belongs to you, it was long taken and you've missed it. So as a normal human being, you will run towards it. Let's say, for example, a dog which was being fed well, then suddenly you've reduced the intake of the food and you unleashed it. Now he's seeing you with the bread. It will come jump to you. In other words, I'm saying that we are creating a system whereby our politicians are taking much to themselves so that we can worship them.
Okay.
And how do we worship them? The greatest sacrifice that we'll give them is our votes. At that pointed time that they want us most, they will use that mechanism. So basically, Pastor Gigi, what's happening, these guys, or some of these guys, I don't want to take them because there are few people who are working well. I may not mention them, but I know they're working well. And you see even the ranking, not just ranking with the mere talks and the casting of votes, but with result. It's because they have refused this ideology that I need to take everything for myself, then I release it to whoever I think should have it at this particular time, then the other people to wait. Let's see it this way, Pastor. You have a family. They are depending on you. Then overnight, you've just decided that I'm not going to give you anything. Money is there, water is there, house is there, and you're telling them, now, know what? I'm going to demolish this house. You get outside there. Once I'm done with this house, you come now and stay with me. The child will be outside there, just anticipating the day the house will be finished. Unfortunately, the house is not seeing bricks, is not seeing mortar. The person is not seeing even the contractors on site, or even if the contractors are on site, they work for one day, they take porridge, they eat well, they leave the site. So our politicians have really calculated the move that it will take a few individuals who will do what we call the not community policing, but we call it civic education. And you know, educating somebody who has grown for 20 years without knowing something, then you now want to tell them, now this is how we could do it. It's very difficult.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I appreciate that. So I think what you're saying is that our politicians have created a scenario where we become dependent on them.
Yeah.
And they become like the god-like figures that dish, literal, goodies, and then, it's like keep them poor, and then they are gonna depend on you.
Yeah.
All right. So that you think is the reason behind corruption.
Yeah.
Purity.
Yeah, I think it's a foundation kind of a thing or a culture people have developed. The corruption, because let's take for example the matatus. you see, when you board one of the matatus and then you are heading to, let's say, to any destination from here town, and then you go meet a policeman standing somewhere, you will see them giving out money even without negotiating. You won't even hear the police asking for any money, but the driver or the makanga, you'll just see them naturally give out some 50 bob, 100 bob, and then they are let free to go.
Okay.
So I think that has been the culture down from there to the top. It's a culture that church, I think, should really speak about it.
Okay.
We need to also pray about it, tell the ground, which already knows, but they have resisted to follow the truth. That's why today, if you need a tender, you are like, you have to give some cash for you to get it. Otherwise, everybody would be getting. But when their words are being done, you come with 100,000, and then Mathew comes with nothing, he will not have it. Not because he doesn't qualify, but because you have qualified plus the money. You qualify and you don't give anything, you don't get. So you are left in a position where you have to choose. How bad do I need this thing? Then you go back and do what every other person does when they need that thing.
Okay.
You see, that kind of a culture, it is a thing that unless the Lord delivers us from this, it's a culture which is hard. It has been there, it is there. It's a process that we need to trust God, just like salvation.
Mathew, you want to add? Yes.
Yeah, Pastor Gigi, what I can say, something like integrity is something that we can't say that we have to wait to be born again, to have salvation, to have it. We know people who are not professing faith, and their integrity is top-notch. So it is not idea of how much I will need to pray to be. It's a decision. It's something that I decide that I have to walk this way. I have to solve the problem of the nation. I have to do this as an MP of an area. This is what I need to do for my people. I really think the cause of corruption is the fact that the people are not at the heart of the cities, of the leaders.
Okay.
In other words, we don't have leaders. We have businessmen who are really trading with the souls of people.
Wow.
Mathew, I agree with you.
That is a very serious
Okay.
statement. That our leaders, our political leaders, are businessmen trading with the souls of people. That's coming from the Gen Z.
Yes. I agree with him.
Yes.
But there is also another issue. I think we just need to be really open about this matter. You see, like what happened today. Governor Kawira, where is she right now? Her case is different. Why? She has been telling us, the society, that the MCS want her to bribe, and she has resisted. Is she still there in power? The issues are happening. We know what happened today, that the court ruled against her. We want to believe that she resisted corruption. You see now the consequences. So you are left like just as an individual, Mathew, thinking, do I lose this position which I really fought so hard to get, or because of integrity, or what do I do, or do I protect it with my all the might and everything? Then you make the choice. And those, okay, I'm not against the integrity. That is what all leaders ought to do. But it is not a simple thing. It's really hard. I don't know what we should do, what we need to do, really. Yes, you need to be righteous. You need to live right. You need to be that person who honors the Constitution, chapter 6. But you also have to make your choices. How many can make that choice?
Okay.
Like, I better lose this one and be that holy, righteous person. How many are willing? Very few.
Pastor Gigi, if I may say,
Yeah.
you know, there is this idea or perception that if I'm not doing corruption, I'm just there. Okay, well, you are not doing corruption, but where is the result? Where are the roads? Where are the hospitals? You see? If it is not there, don't tell me that they are removing me because I did not bribe them, or I did not do that.
Yes.
On the other side, yes, well, you did not bribe them, but where is the money? Did you do a project which we can count that here is a big hospital, here is a big IT hub, this is what is happening on the ground.
Okay.
But unfortunately, we don't see the result. So I don't want to go deep into the issue of Kawera because I'm not aware of it. But what I know, if asked, she may not give the groundwork, the reality.
Okay.
Of the things of the ground.
Absolutely. And I think corruption, for what it is, it's a real blemish on this republic. Recently, there was a show on Al Jazeera. They were hosting one of the members of parliament, and the issue came up very strongly, and even some of our friends out there in diaspora, Kenyans in their diaspora, they actually think that that's the single most important problem in our republic. I just want to read two more comments here as we head towards wrapping up. Watching from Lokichogio, Kenya, impressed by the conversation. That's Kevin Award. Kevin, thank you very much for following this conversation. Nancy Kyokostio has some comments here. And unfortunately, as citizens, we are the biggest contributors to corruption. Why are we receiving money that cannot be accounted for? So I think, as you say, the citizens themselves have a role to play in enhancing or disempowering corruption. I mean, every time somebody goes to their pocket and bribes a police officer, they are perpetuating corruption.
Yes.
Both they and the police officer.
Yeah.
So it's going to take, I don't know what generation is going to shake this corruption thing. I'm sure there are some people on Facebook that will be very unhappy with me if I don't read their comments. So let me just quickly read your comments here on Facebook, and then we wrap it up. Thank you for following this conversation. Absolutely amazing conversation here. Wow. So let's see. I'm just going to pick one or two. Let me read this one by Faith Kimani. It says, the Gen Z are not impatient. I think the Gen Z are facing frustration from a government that promises its own interests rather than basic needs like jobs, healthcare are being unaddressed. Yeah. So, and then Lawrence Joe following closely, a good team from the political group. Yeah, these are members. These are your members here. Great to see you. Brother Joshua Levi is saying, great to see you. Kalumu is a who? Kalumu is a madam here. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, so this is an amazing conversation, and I know it is impossible for us to finish this conversation. I really want us to wrap this up, and I want to hear from you, Mathew. What is your hope for the future? All right, what's your hope for the future for this nation, and especially for your generation? What do you think is going to happen?
If things continues the way they are, there may be no hope. But one thing that has really impressed me is that if you can see, the Gen Z are not bothering much about what's happening. They have discovered that this is a parked car, and if you are going maybe to Mlolongo and the car is parked and there is no indicator that it has got an issue to help, you will follow another route. So basically the Gen Zs have just decided that we are not going to bother these things. Often if we have to bother, we have to do it in a social media way, where we don't engage our energy much, but we will just travel, overtake, go to the side. And this is not happening only with Gen Zs. It happens even with corporate organization. Currently, even investors, they have stopped depending on the government jobs and whatever projects. They are doing their own business as usual. They are continuing because they have realized that if we continue this way, let's say, if we continue for the next 20 years, still following our politicians the way they are, I will reach 60 or I will reach 40, still complaining about something that I could not solve. Instead of doing that, it's better I just leave the parked car and go my own way, toil, work. They take the portion that they can take, but one thing that I know, they cannot take the whole of it. So my message to the youth, or the hope that I have, is that once we have avoided quarreling and running after this, we focus on our own things and we work on it, we will succeed.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful. That's a very interesting proposition. Yeah. So leave the parked car and get moving. Yeah. Get moving. All right, Madam Kalumu. Kalumu. I didn't know that. You're a member of. You contested. So what's your message? What do you see? What do you see coming in the future?
I think for the Gen Zs and all of us, it is we need to give the leadership just a benefit of doubt. It's a lame duck, but let us watch and see what happens. Let us be patient with them as we focus with our lives. Look for ways. What do you do today? Because miaka inasonga. You need to get going. You need to live. You don't have to go fighting like the other day. I have a friend who is in hospital right now because the last time the president was in Isili, and then you find there are a group of people wanaenda, then they are beating other people. Like, why are you attending this function? You should not attend. Maybe I think it's a way of communication, but they don't know how. They don't know whom to tell, because maybe they feel like they are not being listened to. But we better focus with our life, put our trust in God. Let us not trust in people. People can lie, just like any other leader, any other person. You can make promises, and then something happens, you cannot fulfill them. The president is also human like us. Maybe he promised something and he is unable to do it, and maybe he's also shocked. He's like, oh, I said I'll do this, how come I have not done it? Now I don't know what to do. I'm like, I have to keep on doing whatever I can do. Let us give him the benefit of doubt and believe in God, not in men. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, there you are. Let's put our trust in God and not in men. And my brother Mathew here, says that look, if a car is parked, just leave it and get moving. So young people, don't get stuck. Use your own creative mind. Enjoy the freedom you have. As long as you can wake up and go and do something, please do it. Don't put your trust in leaders, and don't make your life revolve around politics. I think there is more to life than just fighting and feeling despondent and discouraged. You too can find your hope in God. And so thank you very much indeed. We got to wrap this up. We are out of time. Thank you for following this conversation and joining us in this discussion. I truly appreciate all of you, and thank you very much indeed. You've heard from the Gen Z and what they have to say. May the Lord bless you so much. We'll see you next week. Keep it elevate, keep it the GG Report. God bless you, and see you next time. Bye for now.